Welcome back to Adelante Chicago. Well, with the Spanish-speaking population as one of the fastest growing segments in the world, it's important that we keep our knowledge of the language very strong. For parents, that may be tough to do, especially when the kids are used to doing everything in English. So as a parent, what do you do to keep them motivated not to lose their Spanish? Joining us this morning is Leslie Lancry and Hannah Shada with Language Stars to give us some helpful tips. Did I get that right, Hannah? Kind of? Close enough, right? All right, this I think is very important because I've got a lot of friends with kids and they say, you know, they speak English at school all the time, and so when they come home they never want to practice their Spanish and they're losing it, and I really don't want them to lose that language that will be helpful in the future. So what types of tips can you give to parents who are dealing with this situation to keep their kids practicing?
There are so many resources out there for children to continue learning Spanish. And they really range from wonderful products, CDs that children can listen to Spanish songs in, DVDs that are made specifically for young children, because the earlier you start, the better you'll be at learning a language with a spontaneous ability to speak it, with an authentic sounding accent. And there are even computer games, and your typical Disney DVD
so maybe
can be
something
played.
that they would do in English, try to maybe do it in Spanish. Now maybe a cartoon that they would have watched in English, try to do it in Spanish to get them going.
That's exactly right. And so many language experts like us also very much recommend working Spanish into your daily routine. It may be that you shop every day. Well, that might be a great opportunity, whether or not you as a parent speak Spanish, to learn enough to take a list of words. So it can be las manzanas, las uvas, and to work them in to everyday. Exactly. Yeah. ¿Quieres manzanas? No quiero manzanas. ¿Quieres uvas? Sí quiero uvas. And what we find is that when children use it in a natural daily routine, they're much more likely not only to build their Spanish, but to enjoy doing it. And motivation is so important.
Sure. You know, and I think a lot of parents, you know, want their kids obviously to dominate the English language first, and they're scared that maybe if they talk Spanish at home all the time, then their kid might speak English with an accent, or so I think that's a little bit of a struggle. Is that the case? I mean, if you're teaching kids two languages at the same time?
Every child can master two languages at once. It's never too early to introduce a second language. As a matter of fact, research shows that children who learn two languages during the critical window of opportunity between birth and adolescence are able to speak both with a native accent and are able to speak both spontaneously. And interestingly, research shows that children score higher on basic reading and math tests in elementary school, as well as later on their SATs.
What's one quick tip, maybe if the husband doesn't speak English, but the mom does, so there's that little barrier there, what language do you speak to the kid in? So what tip would you give to a situation like that?
We strongly recommend that each parent speak his or her native tongue with the child. So if mom speaks Spanish, we recommend from as early on as possible that she reinforce Spanish with her child.
Even if dad doesn't speak Spanish?
Even if dad doesn't. The one break we give, and it's very important, is that there be a neutral zone, and it may be the dinner table, it may be any time all of them are engaged in activities. But when mom is alone with the child, getting that Spanish in early on will ensure that the children pick it up as much as possible.
My parents always said, at home you speak Spanish. You can speak English all you want at school, but here at home you speak Spanish. And it was good because, I mean, it did help.
Muy bien.
Yes, yes. So, Hannah, I do want to talk to you here. Your parents don't speak Spanish at all, right?
Well, actually, my mom, she's been learning from me, too, because the papers that we get at Language Stars, I bring them to her, and she learns from that.
So she learns a little bit from you?
Yeah.
How do you practice it at home with her as you try to teach her? What's one thing that you do?
Sometimes in the car, she would ask me questions in Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. So that's how you practice?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite word in Spanish? You got a favorite word? You got to have one. Gee, I put her on the spot here. You think about it and you let me know later, okay, after the show. All right, and Language Starts, I do want to talk about what you guys do, because this is what your organization or your group focuses on. This is what you concentrate on, trying to teach kids Spanish.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, we offer 5 languages, Spanish as well as Italian, Chinese, French, and German. And children join our program starting at age 1. They can join at any time up until age 10. And we focus specifically on immersing them in their target language. We do it in small groups with dynamic native instructors who come from 20 different countries, and they're completely passionate about a child's natural ability to learn any language.
Right, and this is like an after-school program sort of thing? I mean, it's just a few hours a week that they join you?
Right, most kids join us between 1 and 3 hours a week, and the youngest children don't even go to school yet, and the older children come to us before or after school.
Okay, I know we have to wrap it up, but what's the website that people can go to?
LanguageStars.com.
All right, LanguageStars.com. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you, Hannah. You owe me a word in Spanish, okay? After the show. Next on